The night side of Earth drifted like a dark jewel beneath the orbital watch station, and Lieutenant Ayan Malik watched the cloud tops glow with faint lightning. He was calm by habit, steady by training, but his hand stayed over the console, because the scope showed a whisper of noise that did not belong. It was not a normal ping. It was not debris echo or a broken satellite. The noise had rhythm, the rhythm of a message. Ayan leaned closer and slowed his breathing. He moved the gain, he trimmed the filter, and the whisper grew into a narrow band that cut through the spectrum like a fine blade. "Dr. Lena, you should see this," he said over the intercom, his voice low but clear. Dia Lena Torres floated into the bay with her tablet clipped to her sleeve. She looked as if she had just left a dream. Hair tied up, eyes bright. She liked puzzles. She loved them when they felt dangerous. She locked her boots to the deck and bent over his shoulder. "What am I looking at?" she asked. "A signal, but it is tagged as private spectrum, it says. Not for human channels, it should bounce off our filters. But it is coming straight in," he said. Lena frowned. Then she smiled in a worried way. So whoever sent it did not want humans to hear. Or they thought humans could not hear, and yet we do. Ayan nodded. The numbers danced on his screen like a line of ants carrying fire. The band was narrow, the encoding clean, the data rate slow and deliberate, like someone speaking in a careful whisper. He ran a soft decode, the first layer unrolled, symbols formed, not letters, not any known human alphabet. Each symbol pulsed with a timing pattern like heartbeats, arranged into chords. Lena started a cross-match with alien linguistics. In the shared vault, there were few samples in truth. Most were myths, radio hope, and old stories. But a handful of formal signals were logged from deep space beacons and lost probes. This pattern is close to the beacon called Orphic 9. "The one from the edge of the Perseus arm," Lena said. "But this one is more complex, more like a conversation." Ayan felt the air change, not in pressure, but in meaning. The station hummed. The tether cables moaned softly. Earth turned, and up there, farther than thought, something else turned its face toward them. "Do we report now?" Ayan asked. "We log, we secure. We do not broadcast until we know if the message is a trap," Lena said, her voice calm, her eyes intense. The signal repeated, the cadence the same, the symbols the same. But the last 3 beats shifted, a new chord. Like a door creaking open a little more, Lena added markers and reconstructed a simple grammar. If this was a key, it was a polite one, a key that knocked before entering. Ayan opened the external cams. Space was clean, the horizon smooth. The starboard radar showed nothing solid within 1,000 kilometers. And yet his skin prickled, like when you stand outside a closed door and you hear someone on the other side breathe. He tried to be practical. He checked for spoofing. He checked for internal fault. He ran a loopback test. The diagnostics came back green. Lena watched the same numbers and bit her lip. "There is a header look," she said. "This block here is a routing mask. It avoids human relay nodes. It routes through dark space relays that were mapped in the Janus incident. The ones we never claimed as ours. So it hops around us but still hits us." Ayan said, "Yes, like a message left in a room where humans are not expected." "But the door was ajar, and we walked in," she said. He felt a thin line of pride move under his steady calm. Humans had built the station from scrap and stubborn will. They had stitched together old cargo shells and new glass. They had made an ear in the dark, and tonight that ear heard what it was not supposed to hear. Lena pushed the decode one step further. A block unfolded, and sound came through the speakers. Not words, not music, but a layered tone that rose and fell like wind touching an instrument. The tone carried a simple pulse, 3 slow, 2 fast, 4 slow, then a pause. It repeated, each time with a tiny change in pitch. It could be a handshake, a way to say who is there. Lena whispered. Ayan logged the moment. He tagged the file with all the legal stamps it needed. He set the buffer to keep the last 20 minutes. Then he looked at Earth. The lights of cities on the night side were thin gold threads. The world was asleep, and up here 2 people shared a secret with the sky. "Should we answer?" he asked. Lena did not answer at once. She looked at the tablet, then at him, then at the speaker grill. As if the voice might be shy and run away. An answer means we exist, and it means we dare. It also means we accept any risk that comes with daring. She said. Ian understood. He also understood something else. The message said not for humans. In its roots, in its mask and its calm way, and yet they were human, and they were here. To ignore it was to pretend they were less than they were. Before they decided, the tone changed, the pulse aligned, symbols streamed faster. Their buffers filled. The console threw a quiet warning. Lena killed non-essential feeds to make more room. The lights dimmed a little. The station seemed to lean closer. Ian split the stream. Have to record, have to live decode. More symbols resolved into a map, a simple star map, drawn with distance beats instead of lines. One node pulsed brighter, then a chain of nodes lit, like someone pointing, go here, then here. Are they drawing a road? Ian asked, his voice very soft now. Or a fence? Lena replied. The last node flashed hard. The audio tone climbed into a thin cry that almost broke into pain. Then fell. The room felt colder. Ian rubbed his forearms without thinking. The console stopped warning. The buffer was stable again. The signal went back to the first cadence. The polite knock. Lena looked at Ian, and in her look he saw fear. And wonder lived together, like siblings who both wanted to speak first. Someone is in trouble. Or someone wants us to think they are in trouble, she said. They sent a silent alert to the duty commander. It would wake her if she slept. It would bring her if she was busy. Protocol was a shield and a chain. You could hide under it. You could also be bound by it. Ian's eyes went to the star map again. He did not know those nodes by heart, but he knew the region, outer cislunar lanes, then a jump route, then deep drift beyond the far side. A place where old probes died, and time forgot their names. The station's exterior sensors ticked, a micrometeor, a tiny kiss of dust. The hull sang a small note. It passed. Ian exhaled. He had not known he was holding his breath. Lena turned the audio lower, not off. They both wanted it near, like a lamp in a dark room. The duty commander arrived with hard eyes and a slow voice. Commander Raskova listened to a minute of the tone and looked at the map. She asked no useless questions. She asked the one that mattered. Do you think it is a threat or a cry? Lena said. We cannot be sure, but the structure suggests a beacon path, and the pitch change suggests stress or damage. Raskova nodded. And the routing mask, Ian answered. It avoids human infrastructure. So either it fears us, or the sender wishes to hide us from others. The commander stood very still. Then she said, record everything. Do not transmit. We will escalate to ground in one pass. We do not act alone. Not tonight. Lena's mouth tightened. She was a scientist, but she was also human. Action called to her. Curiosity called louder. She obeyed the order. She also cued a simulation on a hidden thread. It was not illegal. It was not fully allowed. It tested a reply waveform. That would not reveal their position. A whisper behind a curtain. Ian pretended not to see her fingers move. He was not blind. He was careful. The signal played on. The last 3 beats changed again. A new chord. A different color of fear. Maybe, or hope. Earth's limb brightened. Dawn coming to some coast. City lights faded. The planet breathed. The station drifted. And a long way off in the black, something else moved. A shadow like a bruise. Thin as smoke, but real. The peripheral sensor flagged a deviation near the far side beacon ghost. Contact, Ian said, and the word felt heavy. Possible mass in deep drift. Size unknown. Raskova leaned in. Lena's eyes widened. The map's last node flashed again, as if the sender pointed with urgency now. As if a hand waved from a broken window. Ian increased gain. The speakers hissed. The tone rose. The mass In drift shifted, it was not large, but it had intent. Even in its slow dance you could feel purpose. Like a bird with one wing still trying to fly. "Is it theirs?" Lena asked, almost a whisper. "Or ours?" Ian said, and the idea hit them both at once, like cold water. What if the message was not for humans because the sender believed? Humans did not have ships out here. What if some human ship, lost or hidden, had stumbled into a route meant for others? What if the signal tried to warn those others away from a wounded thing that now belonged to humanity by accident and by courage? The mass flared. A shield flickered, not alien smooth, but patchy, stubborn, like something repaired too many times. With hands that would not give up, Ian felt the hair on his arms rise again. Lena's breath caught, Raskova's jaw clenched. "Magnify," the commander said, and the screen obeyed. The image sharpened. The bruise became a shape, battered, scarred but still a ship, and on its flank, under burns and frost, a human flag showed through the dark like a memory that refused to die. The not for humans signal kept knocking, polite and steady, but the wounded ship out there, that was very human, and it was not knocking. It was calling without sound, and it was almost out of time. Out of time. The wreck drifted in silence, its hull scarred with burns, plates torn away by weapons unknown, yet it still held form against the dark. Lieutenant Ian stared at the image as if his eyes could press answers from the metal. Dialena's heart beat faster, her lips whispered, "It's human, it has to be." Commander Raskova did not blink. She folded her arms, the old scars on her knuckles pale against the dim light. "Identify the class," she ordered. Ian zoomed the image. The station software traced the outline, measurements flickered. And after a pause the computer spoke, designation uncertain. Closest match, Dauntless class exploration cruiser, registry era 70 years past. 70 years, Lena whispered. That class was retired, half of them lost, half scrapped. They never survived deep drift this long. Yet the shape was true, battered but real. And on the flank where paint had burned away, the human flag still showed like a stubborn hand raised against the dark. The alien signal still played, soft. Tones knocking with polite rhythm, not meant for humans, but humans had heard. And now humans stared at one of their own ships, thought lost to history. "Is it alive?" Ian asked, not sure if he meant the ship or its crew. Sensors reached. Data came slow, the hull bled faint heat. The shield flicker was not a shield but a failing containment field. Inside the wreck, something still pulsed. With power, weak but steady, like a faint heartbeat refusing to die. Commander Raskova spoke calm, but her words were weight. "We escalate to ground, but ground will take hours. By then this ship may be gone. We must decide here." Lena leaned forward, eyes fixed. "If someone survived, even one person, we cannot wait." Ian looked at her. He felt the truth. In training they said procedure saved lives. But sometimes delay killed more, and now delay might erase a ghost. Before answers came, the commander's silence was a long pause. Then she nodded once. "We prepare a shuttle. We make no transmission. If it is a trap, we do not feed it. If it is real, we may find what should have stayed hidden." Ian's stomach turned. Part fear, part pride. Humans were reckless, stubborn, and sometimes foolish, but they never turned. Away from their own, not when they could reach them. Within an hour the shuttle hung ready, small, sharp, its thrusters aligned for deep drift. Ian wore his suit like a second skin. His hands shook only once when he sealed the gloves. Lena carried her tablet wired into the shuttle's core. She would decode on the move. Commander Raskova came last. Her presence iron and anchor. They launched silent, the station shrinking behind them. Earth a soft curve of blue far below, and ahead the wreck loomed, scarred but waiting, the alien. Signal grew louder as if the shuttle moved into its center. The tones hummed through their hull. 3 slow, 2 fast, 4 slow. Repeat, always repeat. "It feels like we are walking into someone else's room," Lena said, her voice small. Then, "Walk steady, do not trip. Raskova answered. Closer, the wreck filled the screens. Jagged scars cut across its flank. But the docking ring still clung, broken but not gone, like teeth cracked but not lost. Ayan guided the shuttle near. The docking clamps reached. They hissed against torn metal. The lock groaned but held. Inside their helmets, only breath and tone. Lena ran a final check. Pressure faint but present in the wreck. Air toxic, mix of smoke and chemicals. But gravity weak, artificial systems barely alive. They cycled the lock. The door opened with a scream of metal, and the smell of burnt plastic and rust flooded their suits. The corridor beyond was dark, lit only by emergency strips that flickered like dying candles. Stay close, Raskova said, and she stepped in first. The floor was scratched. Walls marked by fire, silence heavy. Ayan felt his boots sink slightly. Dust floated in weak gravity. Each step stirred motes that sparkled in his helmet lights like ghosts rising. They moved deeper. The alien signal followed. Not from the wreck itself, but carried through their coms. Lena's tablet showed it stronger now, as if the wreck sat inside its path, a receiver that was never meant for human ears. At the end of the corridor, they reached the central hub. Doors sealed, half burned. Ayan pried one open with his cutter. Metal groaned, and the chamber beyond shivered with pale light. Inside, consoles blinked weak, systems alive but starved, and in the center, strapped to a chair by old harness and stubborn will, sat a human, eyes closed, chest rising shallow, face lined with time. Hair silver and tangled, but skin still warm. Lena gasped. He's alive, Ayan's heart slammed. He dropped to the side, scanner over the man's chest, faint pulse, shallow breath, but real. This was no corpse, no ghost. This was survival. Against every chance. The man stirred, lips cracked, voice dry as dust. Who? He rasped. Who are you? Rescue, Raskova said firm, no hesitation. You are safe. The man's eyes opened. Gray, deep as storm clouds, he stared at them. Then at the ceiling, as if seeing past walls into stars. No, he whispered. Not safe, not yet. You should not have come. The signal. The signal is not for you. The alien tone hummed louder. 3 slow, 2 fast, 4 slow, repeat. And in the chamber's wall, a hidden console sparked. Lights ran, a map blinked, the same nodes they had seen before, but brighter now. As if the wreck itself had waited for human touch to wake. Lena stepped closer. What does it mean? Who sent it? The man coughed. Pain twisted his face, but he forced words. It was meant for others. Not for Earth, not for human ears. It warns them of us. It marks where to find us if we wander too far. They did not want us to hear, but you did, and now they will come. They always come. Silence fell heavy, only the hum of dying systems. Only the pulse of alien tone. Ayan felt the weight in his bones. A warning not meant for humans, but humans had answered. Commander Raskova straightened, her eyes hard steel. Then we do what humans always do. She said, we prepare. The survivor closed his eyes again, as if sleep pulled him back, but his lips shaped one last word. Run, and in the dark. Beyond the broken ship, the shuttle's sensors flickered. New contacts at edge of range, faint but moving, not debris, not chance. Something else had heard the signal too, something not human, and it was coming closer. The shuttle's sensors whispered their warning again. Faint dots moved in the far edges of the dark. Slow but sure, like predators that had already scented prey. Ayan gripped the console until his knuckles burned white inside the glove, his eyes fixed on the growing signals. They are coming, he said, his voice sharp with tension. Commander Raskova did not flinch. She turned her helmet toward the survivor, who still lay weak in the chair, his chest rising like a fading flame. You said they will come. Who are they? She demanded. The man's cracked lips trembled, his eyes opened, storm gray and heavy with memory. Not ours, never. Ours, watchers, hunters, keepers of the road. The ones who laid the signal lines across the stars. Lena's heart raced. She stared at the alien map glowing on the wreck's console. its nodes burning brighter now, one after another, like beacons calling. Then this is their territory, and we walked inside without permission. The man coughed, pain racking his thin body. We did more. We survived here. We endured. They hate when humans endure, because it means their warnings fail. And if their warnings fail, others might begin to wonder. Raskova's jaw set hard. Her voice was cold iron. We don't bow to warnings. The survivor's hand twitched. His eyes narrowed. Then you will bleed, he whispered. The alien signals outside pulsed stronger. The tone inside their helmets shifted. The 3 slow, 2 fast, 4 slow became sharper, layered with new notes, no longer polite, but urgent, insistent. As if the unseen watchers had noticed humans standing where they should not. Ayan looked at Raskova. Commander, we should leave now, before they close the distance. But Raskova's gaze swept the chamber again, over the battered consoles, the faintly glowing map, and the dying survivor. We leave without knowledge, and ground command will bury this under silence. They will pretend we saw nothing. No ship, no signal, and humanity will stay blind. Her words struck Ayan deep, because he knew they were true. Earth had always feared the unknown, not because humans lacked courage, but because politicians feared risks, and knowledge was risk. We have minutes, no more, Lena said, her voice trembling but clear. If we are to learn anything, it has to be now. Raskova turned to the survivor. Tell us what happened, why you are here. The man's breath rattled, his eyes distant. We were dauntless, proud explorers. We crossed into the Perseus arm, following whispers of habitable worlds. Then we found the road, the signal road. We thought it was ancient, abandoned, free for us to claim. But then they came, swift, sharp, cold. They tore our fleet apart, not because we attacked, but because we stayed. His hand clawed weakly at the harness. They left this ship broken, left me alive. A message, a warning carved in human flesh. They thought time would finish me, but I endured, year after year. I listened to their signal. I learned its rhythm. I dreamed in its tones. I stayed alive only to tell this one truth. Do not follow their road. Silence fell heavy after his words. Only the alien hum remained, rising like a storm outside. Lena's eyes burned. She looked at Raskova. Commander, this is history. This is truth. If we walk away blind, humanity will never be ready for them. Raskova nodded, her decision carved from steel. Then we take what we can and carry it home. Ayan moved fast. Pulling the data core from the flickering console, Lena linked her tablet. Streams of alien symbols poured in, raw and dangerous, but knowledge worth every risk. Alarms rang faint inside the wreck. Bulkheads trembled, dust rained down. They are close, Ayan warned. The shuttle's feed showed the dots swelling brighter. Ships, sleek and curved, not human. Their movements smooth, deliberate, like wolves surrounding prey. The survivor tried to sit, his voice cracked but fierce. You cannot fight them, not yet, but you can resist. Humans always resist. Raskova leaned close, her hand on his shoulder. Then resist with us, we will not leave you here. But the man shook his head weakly. My fight is finished. I am only a shadow, but you must run. Carry the truth. Let them know Earth cannot be silenced. A violent shudder shook the wreck. Lights burst, sparks rained. The alien tone outside roared, no longer a polite knock, but a hammer, each pulse shaking the very walls. Time's up, Ayan said, pulling Lena toward the lock. Raskova followed last, dragging the data core in her grip like a prize of war. The survivor's eyes closed as the door sealed, and his last whisper reached them, faint but strong. Strike back. Always strike back. The shuttle tore free from the broken hull. Thrusters blazing, the wreck fell behind, swallowed by shadows, and ahead the alien ships emerged from the dark. 6 in number, sleek blades of light, their hulls glowing with energy, their formation perfect. They've seen us, Lena said, her voice almost breaking. Then let them see what humans do. Roscova answered, her eyes fierce. The alien ships spread wide, blocking escape lanes. Their signals hammered through every channel, alien tones that shook the shuttle's hull. Demands unspoken, but clear. Stop. Surrender. You are not welcome, ions. Hands flew over controls, sweat on his forehead, his voice tight. They are faster, stronger. We cannot outrun them. But Roscova leaned forward, her voice sharp. We don't run to escape. We run to fight another day. Plot a burn through debris field Gamma 7. We make them chase us through the rocks, Ion. Swallowed hard, but he obeyed. Course set, engines flared. The shuttle dived toward the broken skeletons of ancient satellites and dead ships drifting like bones. The aliens followed, their sleek forms weaving through the wreckage with inhuman grace. Lena clutched her tablet, her screen alive with alien symbols. Commander, they're broadcasting something new, not just warning, but scanning us, learning us, cataloging every piece of us. Roscova's jaw clenched. Let them catalog. But let them learn this. Two humans never yield. The shuttle scraped past shattered metal. Sparks flared. Alarms screamed. One alien ship struck debris and swerved. The formation broke for a heartbeat. Ion seized the gap. Engines howled. And the shuttle burst free of the graveyard into open space. But the aliens were still behind, relentless, their signals louder, demanding, and then the unexpected happened. The wreck they left behind, the old Dauntless cruiser, lit up one last time, its core overloaded, its hull glowing bright, and in a final burst it exploded. A storm of fire and debris that washed over the alien formation, scattering them. Ion stared in shock, the survivor. He triggered it. Lena's eyes filled with tears. He gave his last breath to buy us a chance. Roscova's face was stone, but her voice carried steel and sorrow. Then we honor him by surviving, by striking back when the time comes. The shuttle pushed engines to the edge, Earth far away but waiting. And behind them the alien ships regrouped, wounded but not broken, their signals echoing across the void. A promise of pursuit, a promise of war. And in that moment, Ion knew the truth. The warning had been ignored, not out of arrogance, but because humans could never turn away. They had heard the forbidden signal, and nothing in the galaxy would ever silence them again. The shuttle sped through the silent dark, its engines burning hot as Ion pushed the craft to limits it was never designed to bear. Alarms blinked red, metal groaned, but the ship kept moving. Behind them the alien hunters regrouped, their sleek silhouettes glowing like blades of light, their signals pounding louder with every second. They're still following, Lena whispered, her eyes glued to the rear scanner. The alien ships danced through the wreckage field as if the debris were nothing, smooth and confident, predators. Built for this hunt, Commander Roscova stood braced against the cockpit rail, her voice cold iron. Let them follow. The longer we hold them away from Earth, the more time Command has to prepare. But Ion shook his head, sweat dripping down his neck. Commander, they're not just following, they're corralling us, shaping our path, every course correction I try. They block the exit routes, they're driving us somewhere. Lena's voice cracked with dread. Like wolves pushing prey into a trap, silence filled the cabin for a breath, broken only by the rising hum of the alien signal. Its tone sharper now, demanding, commanding, stop, submit, yield. The shuttle's systems rattled with the vibration. The comboards glowed with interference. They're trying to break our electronics. Ion muttered, fighting the controls. If they disable us, we're finished. Roscova's eyes narrowed. Then we use their arrogance. Predators never expect prey to strike back. Lena looked at her, panic and determination clashing. In her face, strike back with what, Commander? This is a scout shuttle. We barely have defensive lasers. Roscova smiled faintly, a grim smile. Lasers are not for killing ships. They're for blinding eyes. Ion understood at once. He angled the shuttle hard, spinning in a maneuver that threw Lena against her straps. The forward laser turrets flickered, not at the alien hulls, but at their shining sensor arrays, beams. Lanced across the dark, sharp lines of light, stabbing at the Predator's eyes. One alien ship swerved violently, its glow faltering, its perfect formation broken. Lena gasped. It worked. But another ship fired back, beams of blue energy slashing through space. The shuttle shook, alarms screamed, the rear hull plating shredded like paper, oxygen hissed, emergency seals slammed down. "We can't take another hit like that," Ion warned, voice tight with fear and focus. "They don't want us destroyed." Ruskova said firmly, "Not yet. They want us alive. To question, to study, to make example. Remember the survivor, they leave warnings." "Not corpses," Lena shivered, remembering the old man's storm-gray eyes. "Then we must deny them." Their warning. Another volley struck near. The shuttle spun. Ion's vision blurred. He forced his hands steady, cutting thrusters, flipping the ship into a wild roll. Debris flashed past. A broken satellite core spinning like a spear. And the alien shot that would have gutted them slammed into the wreckage instead, exploding in a brilliant burst. For a moment the hunters scattered. And in that moment, Ion pushed the shuttle into a narrow crack in the debris field, weaving through broken hulls and shattered panels like a fish darting through coral. "They're still on us," Lena whispered, her screen alive with glowing pursuers. "But they're slower now. The field is forcing them to spread out." Ruskova's voice was steady, steel in her calm. "Then we make them bleed time. Every second we survive is a victory." But time was not enough, Ion knew. The shuttle was bleeding air and fuel, its hull scarred, and the aliens were patient. Predators with endless stamina. They would chase until Earth itself lay in there. Teeth. Suddenly Lena's tablet flashed, alien symbols rewriting themselves. "Commander. They're changing the signal. They're broadcasting on wideband now. Not just to us, but outward, like a beacon." A chill spread in Ion's chest. "They're calling reinforcements." Ruskova's jaw tightened. "Then we end this before the pack grows larger." "How?" Lena demanded, voice cracking. "We can't even scratch their armor." Ruskova leaned closer to her, eyes fierce. "We don't need to scratch it. We need to show them humans do not die quietly." She pulled up the shuttle schematics, her finger tapping the reactor core. "We overload the secondary cells. We vent them in their faces, a human fire they won't forget." Ion's heart raced. "That'll cripple us too." "It'll cripple them more," Ruskova said. Lena hesitated. But then she saw again the survivor's face, his whisper. "Strike back," and she nodded, fingers flying over her tablet, arming the cells. The alien ships closed in, weaving like hunters ready for the kill. Their signals pounded. Words without words. Submit, kneel, yield. Instead, the shuttle flared bright, venting its secondary cells in a burst of furious plasma. The explosion roared. Outward, white-hot, slamming into the nearest hunter ship. Its sleek form spun out of formation. Hull glowing, its signal faltering. The other alien ships wavered, formation breaking. Lena shouted, "We hit one, we actually hit one." Ruskova's voice was iron pride. "Let them remember, humans, strike back." But the price was steep. The shuttle systems groaned. Half their power gone, life support strained, warning lights red as blood. Ion wrestled the controls, holding them steady as the crippled craft limped through the field. "They'll recover," he said, breath harsh. "They'll regroup and we won't have another trick like that." Ruskova did not answer, her eyes fixed ahead, and then she spoke, low and fierce. "Then we reach Earth first, and we carry the truth home." Lena's tablet beeped. The alien signal still strong, but in the interference she caught something else, something hidden. "Commander, there's another layer, I think. I think they're transmitting coordinates not just to each other, but to a larger fleet." Her heart froze. Her voice cracked. "They're calling the swarm." Ion's hands tightened, sweat running cold. Earth lay ahead, fragile and blue. And behind them death closed in, faster, hungrier. The shuttle burned on. carrying 3 humans and a secret too heavy to bear. And in the silence between the stars, the hunters prepared their final strike. The shuttle crawled through space like a wounded bird, its engines straining, sparks dancing across the cockpit panels. Ayan's hands shook as he forced the ship to keep moving. Every second felt borrowed, every breath a gift that could vanish at any moment. Behind them, the alien hunters closed in again, their sleek ships glowing with cold light, predators unwilling to let prey escape. "They won't stop," Lena whispered, staring at the rear scanner. The red dots pulsed brighter. "Nearer. No matter what we do, they'll keep coming." Reskova stood tall despite the alarms, her voice steady as stone. "Then we do what humans always do. We fight with more than machines. We fight with will." Ayan clenched his jaw, sweat dripping down his temple. "Commander, Will doesn't fly a crippled shuttle." But even as he spoke, Lena's tablet blinked with strange new readings, alien symbols twisting and breaking across her screen. "Wait. Something's happening. The signal isn't only theirs anymore. There's interference, like another voice inside the tones." Reskova frowned. "Explain." Lena leaned forward, fingers flying across her screen. "The survivor, when he touched the console, when he told us to strike back, I think he embedded something into the data core, some kind of counter pattern. It's rewriting parts of their signal." Ayan's eyes flicked between the glowing red warnings on his board and Lena's screen. "Are you saying he gave us a weapon?" Lena's lips parted, her voice soft but fierce. "Maybe not a weapon, but a shield. Or a message meant for us, hidden inside their own language." The shuttle shook again, another alien volley scraping past, energy flaring across their hull. Oxygen levels dropped another point. The predators were closing. "Relentless. Can you use it?" Reskova asked sharply, her tone demanding. "I can try," Lena said, her fingers moving fast. Her tablet linked to the shuttle's comms. She overlaid the survivor's hidden code with the alien signal. 2 languages colliding, and when the tones merged, a new sound filled the shuttle. Deeper, heavier, like a drumbeat under the alien knock. 3 slow, 2 fast, 4 slow. Then a new beat, human rhythm, strong, stubborn, refusing to yield. The alien ships faltered. Their signals staggered. Their formation broke for a heartbeat. Like predators startled by prey bearing unexpected fangs, Ayan's breath caught. "It's working." "They're hesitating." Lena's eyes shone. "They don't understand how we can speak their road. They didn't think humans could learn it." Reskova's voice hardened. "Then show them we can. Show them humans endure." For a moment, the hunters slowed, their sleek shapes circling warily. The pounding signals dulled. Testing, uncertain, and in that moment, the shuttle pushed farther ahead. Earth a faint blue jewel in the distance. But hesitation was not surrender. The aliens regrouped, their tones sharpened, louder now, not just demanding, but angry. "They're adapting," Lena warned. "They're rewriting faster than I can. Keep up. If we stay in their field too long, they'll overwhelm us again." Ayan cursed it under his breath. "We won't last another hit, Commander, not without help." And as if answering his plea, a new voice crackled through their comms, harsh but human. "Unidentified shuttle. This is Earth Defense Frigate Resolute. Identify yourself immediately." Lena gasped, tears springing to her eyes. "We're not alone." Reskova's face softened for just a moment, then hardened again. "This is Shuttle Vega 7. Under attack, carrying critical intel. Hostile alien craft in pursuit. Repeat. Hostile alien craft in pursuit." The channel hissed, then steadied. "Acknowledged, Vega 7. Hold your course. We are inbound. You're not dying today." Ayan's chest filled with relief that almost broke him. But it was not finished. The alien hunters closed faster now, furious at the human call for help, their weapons flaring. "They'll strike before Resolute reaches us," he said. "Then we endure until she arrives." Reskova commanded. The hunters fired, beams slashing through space. The shuttle twisted. Ayan dodged 1, 2. The third clipped their hull. Panels blew apart. Lena screamed as sparks leapt across her console. Fire suppression gas hissed. Oxygen. Down to 30%, Ion shouted. We can't keep this up. Lena's fingers trembled, but she didn't stop. Her screen burned with alien symbols, her voice steady despite the fear. Then we used the survivor's gift again. We pushed the counter signal harder. Blind them long enough for Resolute to hit. Do it, Reskova said. Lena unleashed the full sequence, human rhythm pounding through the alien field. Not just a whisper this time, but a roar. The shuttle speaker shook, the hull vibrated. The alien ships reeled, their lights flickered. For a breathless instant they slowed. And in that instant, Resolute arrived, a massive shadow sliding between. The shuttle and the hunters, her cannons lit the void. Streams of fire carving through the dark. One alien ship shattered, another spun away smoking. The rest broke formation, circling like wolves faced with a lion. This is Resolute, the human voice thundered. Fall back or burn. For the first time, the hunters hesitated for more than a moment. Their signals sharp, angry, but also laced with caution. They circled once, twice, then without warning. They vanished into the dark, their sleek forms blinking out as if swallowed by shadow. Silence returned, heavy, broken only by the crackle of damaged systems. Lena sagged in her chair, tears on her cheeks. They're gone. Reskova stood tall, her voice quiet but fierce. Not gone, only waiting. They'll be back, and next time in greater numbers. Ion slumped, exhausted but alive, his hands falling from the controls at last. We survived. That's all that matters for now. The Resolute locked its docking clamps onto the crippled shuttle, pulling them into safety. Human voices filled the comms. Medics, engineers, soldiers, all alive, all human, for the first time. Since they heard the forbidden signal, Ion felt hope, not because the danger was gone, but because humanity was no longer alone in the dark. Lena held her tablet close, the data core still glowing faintly, the survivor's gift alive inside. We carry the truth now, she whispered. They wanted us blind, but we've seen, and will never unsee. Reskova's eyes burned with steel, her voice a vow. Then let the galaxy know humans do not fear roads marked forbiddance. We walk them, we endure, and when we must, we strike back. And far behind, in the dark void where the alien hunters had vanished, faint echoes of their signals lingered, sharp and cold, a promise whispered into the stars. The war has only begun. Gun.